Hello and welcome back. I'm Nicole, a cottage witch, and today I'm gonna just go through a few of the things I want to do in December. This is the plan. We'll see if things go according to plan. They don't always. But first off, there's a mini readathon by Book Roast called Lightfall, which she started last year and I didn't do it, but I think I'm gonna do it this year. And basically, she's got a map of a little town. So her fantasy world, where she does all these readathons, used to be Harry Potter based, and then J.K. Rowling got a bit weird about a couple of things, so she changed it to a totally made up one, and she's put an extraordinary amount of work into creating this world for these readathons. It's really quite impressive. And so this one is a little bit Hogsmeade based, where it's a little town with a bunch of little shops. And it's, you know, the winter Christmas season, and you go around to the shops and you have a passport sort of thing that you get stamped at each shop. And each shop is a different reading prompt. And so I'm not going to do all of them because it's only a mini readathon. It only goes December 9th through 17th. So one weekend through to another weekend. But I'm going to do some of them. So I think I'm going to do one. There's a shop called Occult Premonitions, and the prompt is based on a random tarot card. And so for that, I used this deck, the Moonchild Tarot Shadow Edition. And this Two of Wands was the random tarot card. And this book has been on my bedside table for like 4 years. Something ridiculous. And just the imagery seemed to align. So I think I finally have to finish this one. I have started it. I'm like 2/3 the way through. I'd started it years ago, and then it's been getting a little bit dusty ever since. So I think that's going to be that prompt. And then there's an Old Tales bookstore, and the prompt for that is a book you wanted to read this year but hadn't had a chance yet. And this is actually a book I'd wanted to read for years as well. So it really could have been either of these. This is Wide Sargasso Sea. I don't know if that's how you say that. And it's a book that I'd wanted to read pretty nearly ever since I'd read Jane Eyre, because it's based on that. It's the story of the alleged mad woman in the attic. And I'd always wanted to read this, and it's Goth Lit November adjacent. I don't know if it actually is Gothic literature or not, but it's at least connected to Gothic literature through Jane Eyre, which is a book that I love and I've read several times. I think 3 times. So this will be a fun one. And then the third prompt in this town, full of reading prompts that I'm going to do, is the Owlcat Craft Cafe, which is listen to an audiobook while crafting. And there are a bunch of audiobooks that I want to listen to this month. Some of them I've already started and then just got sidetracked the last couple of months and haven't finished them yet. So this is going to be the month of hopefully finishing some of the ridiculous number of books I've started. But I think it's got to be Uncultured for this one, and that's by Danielle, somebody with a spectacular last name that I can't remember. And she's always crocheting in her Instagram reels. Always. She crochets a ton of things. And so I think it has to be that one. Although there are some other audiobooks that I want to read. I've got The Woman in Me, the Britney Spears memoir from the library. Pardon me. And I don't usually read celebrity memoirs because I don't usually know who celebrities are and can't be bothered. But I'm interested in hers, partly because, you know, I grew up in the 90s, and partly because, and in early 2000s, but also partly because she's had mental illnesses, real or alleged, used to control her in her life, and I'm interested in that story, having experiences with mental illnesses myself, although not the controlling aspect, mercifully. And then the other audiobooks that I want to finish are Feeding Your Demons, which is a Buddhist sort of take on how to take care of the more negative or shadowy aspects in yourself. Rather than fighting them, you feed them and take care of them, and thereby sort of take care of yourself. And it's really interesting so far. I'm quite enjoying it. How to Read a Tree, which is a lot of fun to read while I'm on a walk. The 100 Years War on Palestine, which I've read before, and this is a reread, and I don't know, a third of the way through that one. And Moi Malala, which is I Am Malala, but I've got the French audiobook for that one. So yeah, I'm interested in finishing those, hopefully. We'll see how that goes if I manage to do all of that. I mean, I've got, you know, a plane trip home for Christmas and back, so that'll take some time. And it's still actually fairly nice walking weather, so hopefully I can get some of this done. Well, the other books I want to read this month are, so this is Legends and Lattes, which is the Lisa Pepez's members have she has a book club, and this is November and December's, and I haven't started it yet. So if I'm going to read it this month, I'd probably better get on it. But it's not very, I don't think it'll take very long to read, and it sounds kind of fun. So yeah, there's that. There's this book that I ordered a couple of months ago, Rivka. It's a book of poetry by a Palestinian poet, Mohammed Al-Kurd, who I follow on Instagram. And then one other poem that I want to read is, I'd read Christabel by Coleridge for Gothlit November, and then realized I'd heard of Kubla Khan and haven't read it yet. So maybe I will read that this month. Maybe this will be a periodic thing I do now, read poetry again, because I haven't done that in quite some time. The other book that's been on a list of things to read for a few months now is A Broom at Midnight, 13 Gates of Witchcraft Spirit Flight by Roger J. Horn. I've had this for a little while now. Not a super long while, but a little while. And it seems pretty interesting. So I will see if I get to this. This is one of those ones where, because I want to finish up some of these other books first, I may not get to it, but I will give it a go. And then the other books that I've already started this month are Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, but in Arabic, which I cannot remember how to pronounce properly, and my pronunciation is hilariously bad anyway. And there are several letters I keep getting mixed up because the sounds are very similar to me. And then, so I'm listening to the audiobook of that, I'll read a chapter in English, listen to the chapter in Arabic, and see what I can follow, and then repeat. And then this one, I'm just listening to the audiobook in French, and that's Harry Potter et les reliques de la mort, or something like that. And that's fun too. And I'm starting to get to a place where, listening to the French, I can actually just listen to the French audiobooks and follow the story. Earlier in the year or late last year, I can't remember, I listened to The Lord of the Rings in French, and I could follow it, but it was a bit of a tricky thing because there was a lot that I missed, and the only reason I could follow it was because I knew the story already. Excuse me. And now at this point, I know the story really well because I've read it several times in several languages now. But so that helps. But I'm at the point where I kind of can follow it anyway. Like, I get most of it. There's still things that I miss, and I have to pay more attention than I would in English to really follow the story. But I'm getting there. Definitely progress is being made on that front, so that's exciting. Did I miss anything? I made myself a list because I have a habit of not remembering anything ever. especially as soon as I hit record. Nope, I think I got everything. So that's my December plan, and we'll see if I stick with it. I don't always, because sometimes I want to read what I want to read, and then I'll do that. And I'm really on a roll with these two Harry Potter books at the moment. So we'll see if I get the rest of these done. It might not quite get all of them, but if I could get even some of these read, that would be good. And I would really like to finish this one, Opening the Gates, because it's been on my bookshelf for ages. Anyway, that's that for my plan for December and the mini readathon and the book club, and then other bits that I want to read. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.